Hi guys, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great. So to start, when you are doing a movie like this and this friendship has to be important outside of, the other things that kind of go on in Astor's life, what for you both was the most important thing about making sure that their relationship was as strong as it is so that the audience is instantly on board with these two as friends?
Um, well, when I first got cast in Off the Record, um, the Noelle's role was not yet filled, and Olivia is my real life best friend, and she's an incredibly talented actress and comedian and writer. So I pitched the idea of casting her, and they loved it, and so we had that built-in chemistry already, and we're able to just sort of um, play off our real life intimacy and bring that to the screen.
Well, I love that. So
Yeah.
the flip of that, Olivia, how is it to, get to work creatively with your friend in that way where you're like, well, my friend knows I'm talented enough to also do this, but we get to kind of bounce off each other in a different kind of way?
It's so much fun. It's so special that you get to show up to work and work with your friend and like hang out there and just honestly would do it all over again. And Rainey and I want to recreate that feeling literally on everything that we work on. So
Yeah.
really like a blessing and it was so, so special for us.
It's just like a friendship cinematic universe where like every time we see them and they're different friends and they're hanging out in different places.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, Rainey, I did want to ask you. So I know you were born in Asheville. I went to college at Boone.
Oh, nice.
In App State. So it's every time I talk to anyone from the Carolinas, I always like to ask things. And what I really liked about what I like about you and what I loved about Astor is I could hear a bit of the Carolina influence in the music aspect of it
Hmm.
because especially in the mountains, it's such a specific kind of feel. How much of yourself did you get to put in to the music aspect of Astor? And did you get to bring a little of the Asheville kind of music scene and flair to like the work that you did in this and you do in your own music career?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think growing up in the South and in Asheville sort of like influences my entire being. So whatever I do has a little bit of that in it. And then yeah, musically, my dad taught me to play guitar growing up. So like the song that I wrote for the movie, just like I brought a guitar out to the backyard and wrote that and started sending voice notes to Kirsten, the director, and was like, "Hey, what do you think about this?" And then was able to like put some of my other songs into the soundtrack. So yeah, I think it definitely has had an influence on my music and on me as a person.
Yeah, when Livia, I wanted to ask you, there's one scene in this movie where I was just like, ooh, that's a better friend than me because I would have been like, absolutely not, I'm not talking to you for a month. She gets blown off not once but twice. And the second time it is as her friend is standing with her in a line. And so she really is just like, well, do you want to be my friends to some random people? And I loved that pivot, but I also was like, she's such a nicer person than me. When you get something like that in a script and you see kind of who Noelle is and the kind of friend she is, how does that inform you when you're building out a character and how she might react in like a later scene or in some other scene?
I think that Noelle is loves her friends and asked her unconditionally and sees her as, more than just a best friend, but like family. So she's able to, step in there and be there for her, even when Aster is not being herself. And I can see her for who she really is. And, you know, that's why time and time again I show up because of that love she has for her unconditionally.
And Rainey, I wanted to ask you too. There's a line in this where I went, it was one of the first times I've believed, like I went and Googled your age to be sure, because I was like, yeah, she's believably like this is a 25-year-old woman. And then I was like, wait, no, I think Rainey and I are not that different in age. And then I was like, oh yes, another woman who can believably play a mid-20s and is in their 30s. And I loved it so much because I was like, this rules. You did such a good job of kind of bringing the I don't want to say naivety because when you're 25, you don't have naivety, but like an innocence and a freshness to Aster as a character. And she wants to believe in like especially with Brandon, the ultimately lie he's telling her. When you get to kind of play that version of a character and someone who does want to just believe in what other people are promising them, what for you is the most exciting part of a character that has those kind of aspects to them?
Um, I mean, I think like with any role that I approach, you just like put yourself in the position of the character and believe the circumstances. And um, as far as like the youthful innocence or whatever, I think that I just naturally like still feel pretty young and like I don't know if I'm as gullible as Aster is, but I think I try to see like the best in people, for the most part. um, so I don't know. I think it's just all part of like living in the world of the script.
And I wanted to ask both of you this too, because both of you have really good I'm gonna fight back moments in this because and I mean like physically fighting back because Noel gets to knee a dude in the dick and then Aster he puts his finger near her and she actually bites his finger. And I thought both of those were such fun ways of kind of like, nah, we're done with you moves for you guys. Was it satisfying as actors to get to play those moments out, or were you kind of like, no, I would never do this? So it's like it was like a weird thing, or how was it kind of making both of those happen?
I was ner
Um, yeah, you go first.
I was nervous to have to do a stunt like that because I didn't want to ruin or damage Ryan's private parts.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I was pretty nervous, and I don't think I've ever done that. Violence has never been my go-to.
Um, yeah, I mean, I've had sort of a similar experience, I guess. Like it was such a like a physical scene where we're like walking down the hallway and there was like all this blocking, whatever, and I just was so afraid that I was gonna actually bite his finger too hard because apparently like I mean, I've heard this on the internet, so who knows if it's true or whatever, but like the same force that it takes to bite through a carrot is the force that it takes to bite through someone's finger. So it's like
That's crazy.
I could legit just like bite his finger off. So I was like trying not to do that. Um and but yeah, I mean I can see myself in that position like biting someone.
It was so good because I was like, I would never have instantly thought like, yeah, let me just bite this finger that is in my face. But I was like, no,
Yeah.
that was pretty badass. I liked both of the reactions to him. But I wanted to ask you both as a last kind of question with a movie like this that is, it's a bunch of different moving parts of different genres and film references and things like that. Because when I thought it was a reference to A Star Is Born, it pivoted hard and was like, oh no, that is a devastating moment, and it's kind of a rom com, but it isn't. What are you guys most excited about for fans to interact with within a movie like this that does have all those moving parts?
I mean I think hopefully that makes it entertaining and unexpected. And I think a lot of music movies sort of like follow a similar route in a way that this movie doesn't. So I think like having all those elements and all the references is like sort of like insider knowledge, little treasure box. I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Like finding the little treats in the movie hopefully will keep people on their toes.
Yeah, what about for you? Yeah.
Yeah, I hope that when people watch this movie, they feel empowered and no matter what their experience or how young they are and how naive or impressionable they are, that they can always, count on their best friends and themselves and, find their inner strength in their voice.
And you can always bite back.
Yeah,
You can always
right
fight
back.
back.
I was gonna end it with do you hope that they start wearing the Aster shirts, which is just a picture of your face, but then on the back you can say fight back.
Yeah,
The tie-in to the movie.
Yeah, it's a good pitch.
Hit me up for the merch. Uh,
Yeah.
thank you guys so much for talking with me. I love this movie. I love movies about music in general, and so I really liked how this kind of pushed what we expect. And so thank you guys so much for talking with me. I really appreciate it.
thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you guys. Have a great one.
me too.
Bye.